Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be a general collective message. And so I want to talk about the Sun conjunct Jupiter. I'm not in my regular setup today, so please don't mind the big mess in the background. I'm going to try and adjust the camera a little bit. I feel like I'm kind of on an angle here, not looking at you guys straight. But I want to talk about the energies. I actually just got home from dropping off the kids at school. I'm running a little bit late. I had a wonderful conversation with one of the grandmothers at the school, and it turned into a conversation about compassion and Christ consciousness, and we were talking about Easter weekend. And I almost kind of left the school with this overwhelming feeling of just pure love in my heart and in my soul. And so I wasn't planning on channeling the Sun conjunct Jupiter energy, but why not, right? Why not? Because I'm feeling really, really good, especially with my Mercury in Aries and my second and third house in Aries. And so this is like a very beneficial transit. The Sun conjunct Jupiter happens today at exactly 21 degrees 45. So interesting. When I was 25, my mom was 45. And that's about the time my parents' marriage kind of fell apart and they went through a divorce, which kind of shattered my illusions of commitment, marriage, the masculine collective as a whole, and where my role was, what my identity was, because my entire world as I knew it kind of was shattered way back when, like almost 20 years ago now, not quite, but and so this Jupiter energy, Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system. And so Jupiter is kind of coming in saying, hey, what can we all agree upon, right? And so all Jupiter transits come forward to kind of bring forward clarity, truth, so we can finally make sense of the spiritual journey and get back in the flow and into a state of unity of self and unity within the community. And so Aries is all about our self-identity. The Sun in Aries is our identity. And with this conjunction to Jupiter, who are we, right? Who are we as an individual? And still be a part of the bigger whole, right? What is our life purpose? So a lot of us have been feeling lost, swimming in a sea. It was so interesting. Savvy was running all over the yard all weekend, swimming in the grass, pretending she was a mermaid. So that's the energy. We've all kind of been swimming, treading, barely keeping our heads above water. That Avril Lavigne song, Head Above Water, it actually, the second I turned the car on to leave the school parking lot after this very intense spiritual conversation, and I chat with this grandmother all the time. She actually lives down the street from me. That's the song that played on the radio, was Head Above Water. So you might want to go and have a listen to it. I do feel a collective heaviness, because, you know, there's two very important moments in our life as our human existence. The day we're born, right? The day we're born, and the day we understand why we were born. And so it can be a very overwhelming feeling as we come into this sense of awareness of self-identity, where things kind of start to make sense. And so the Sun conjunct Jupiter is bringing in a very opposite energy of the Sun Chiron transits that we've been going through and that we've experienced earlier last week. And so the Sun conjunct Chiron was illuminating duality in our life, and all of these inner conflicts, and where we've been at a crossroads or a cross purpose in our life, needing to make a decision. And so all of these things about who we are, our self-worth and our self-value, that we found difficult to kind of reconcile, to be at peace with, has opened up a new, broader sense of thinking. And so I do feel all we want is freedom. All we want is loyalty and predictability in our lives. And let's face it, life is very unpredictable. The past is over. We can't go back and change anything that's ever happened in the past. We have to reach a level of acceptance, forgiveness. And tomorrow, we can't stress and worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow is the now. We don't know that we will wake up tomorrow. And so there's this energy of being underwater, like in this Piscean ocean of emotions. And many of us on the spiritual journey, we have to leave a lot behind. We have to leave a lot of family members behind. We have to leave pretty much all of our friendships that we knew before our awakening process. And this triggers that core Chiron wound and puts us into a state of duality integration. And so Jupiter is asking us, how can we focus on the consistency in our lives, right? What is the one constant in your life? For me, I've always loved singing, right? I've always loved singing. I've never done anything with it other than sing in the shower or perform in the car or in the kitchen. But it's the energy of finding that talent. We all have a talent. We all have a gift. And so Jupiter is kind of helping us bring that clarity to the forefront as to what our purpose is in this lifetime. We also got to keep in mind the Plutonian aspects that are kind of in the background, kind of playing out. And Pluto in Aquarius is going to be hitting your natal chart wherever you have Aquarius. So pay attention. I do feel Aquarius Collective North Node is going through a lot of changes, and so I've also been guided to do a video about the Plutonian energies and the 3 stages that Pluto represents that we're going to have to go through to gain this clarity. And so how can you connect with your inner Aries, right? How can you connect with that Aries that's in your chart? Aries represents the first sign, the male principle. It's the energy of taking action. It represents the Fool in the tarot, which also represents taking that leap of faith, finding that spark for life again. What makes you tick? What can you bring into your physical existence by connecting with your Aries energy? And so a big part of my Aries energy is speaking my truth, stepping into a firm place of self-worth and self-value, because it's linked to my 2nd house of money. It's also linked to my 3rd house of communication. I have to communicate what it is that I desire to bring into fruition. And so are you connected and fully present in that Aries energy? Where does Aries fall in your housing side or in any of your planets? Are you in touch with yourself when it comes to that Aries energy? When you're in touch with your Aries energy, you lead by your intuition. You know when to act, you know when not to act, and you just know whether something is good for you or not. And so we can't stay in these connections where we feel obligated to say yes, even if it doesn't feel right. Why are you saying yes when you need to say no? And so the opposite energy of Aries is the Libra energy, the scales, indecision, second guessing, overthinking. And this truly is a result, I feel, of being disconnected from your gut instinct, your gut intuition. When we're not connected to our intuition, when we're not connected to our Aries energy, we don't know who we are. So therefore, how do we know which direction to go? When we don't know who we are, we're going to miss out on some amazing opportunities, or we're going to make a choice that isn't really a good fit for us because of the indecision. And so symptoms of being disconnected from our Aries energy is going to be screaming, procrastination, self-sabotaging, a vague sense of like just overall dissatisfaction with your life. Or you're going to make choices that just aren't good for you, right? Or you're going to worry, or you're going to over worry about what people think of you. It is none of your business what anybody thinks of you. What matters, and this came up in conversation today, what matters is what you think about you. Do you value you? Because nobody can give you that sense of self-worth and self-value if you don't have a rooted sense of self anyway. If you don't know what to do with your life, then maybe it's time to go within. If your life isn't what you want it to be, then maybe you don't know who you are. Maybe it's time to spend some time alone, because we're never going to figure out who we are connected to all kinds of people, absorbing all kinds of outside skewed perceptions and opinions of what's meant for our life. And so this aspect is allowing us to reconnect with our inner Aries. And we all have Aries somewhere in our chart. If you don't, I'd be surprised. We all have Aries somewhere in our chart. So pay attention to your thoughts, pay attention to your feelings, as all of these energies kind of boil to the surface. So I think a few big questions you need to ask yourself. What is non-negotiable about who you are? What is non-negotiable about who you are? How can you own that? What passions and interests are you consistent about, and who is a block for you playing into these passions and interests? What comes naturally to you? We all have a natural gift. Maybe your spiritual gift is a scientist. Maybe it's mathematics. Maybe you're an accountant. It all doesn't have to be pulling the cards and channeling messages. What comes naturally to you? Who do you enjoy being in your fullest expression? Can you honor that fullest expression with where you're at in whatever foundation you've created in your life? What do you enjoy to do? So oftentimes we go into relationships, we lose who we are, we become all of this other person for somebody else, and then it leads to resentment and bitterness because we're not honoring our inner Aries. So when you know who you are, what do you do next to protect and honor those boundaries of your personal truth? And so what comes natural to you should be the obvious next step. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet. My mom is coming over in a little bit, and we're going to Value Village today. It is seniors discount, so I'm going to get my mom's discount, and I'm going to go get myself some new used clothes since the weather's broken and I don't have a lot of new clothes. So starseed activations, guys. I'm using the past life lessons deck because I do feel a lot of past life lessons. So we all have galactic origins. And we are all living a human experience. So we all have a much higher purpose than we realize. And I do think this is a big part of our purpose, is to be a light for humanity. 1111. Envy. You and only you are responsible for your successes and your failures. So where do you need to take initiative to plan for the fruits of your labor? And wounding is coming up because we can't manifest unlimited abundance if we have not transcended these negative experiences. We have to understand that these wounds have shaped us. They have defined us, but they don't have to limit us. So how can you harness your inner artistic creativity? So many people in the collective right now are involved in karmic relationships, and they're hiding on their heart who it is they really want to be loyal to. And so I do feel a lot of revelations about our missionary devotion to the spiritual journey coming through, so we can finally close out these toxic relationship cycles. I'm looking behind me. Oh my God, my house is so disgusting a mess. I've got a pile of paper for my taxes, and that's one thing that's certain is death and taxes. And I'm like, I gotta get my taxes done. And we got Hello Kitty in the background, and Bailey's having a little nappy poo. So let's see what needs to come through with the past life lesson deck. Pride and ego. So that's a challenge. Oh, I like it. We got the fisherman and the doctor energy. And so Kingfisher. So this is a time of harvest. A lot of us are here to locally participate in like spiritual markets and all of these things. And so I do feel a lot of us are activating our healing hands. Right now we're witnessing a lot of devastation collectively. There's going to be a lot more devastation and upheaval, and we're here to tirelessly devote ourselves to enhancing the wellness of the collective. So where do you need to address any pride and ego issues that have really stood in your way? That's a challenge for all of us this lifetime. Whoa, I almost lost you guys. Anyways, narcissism gets thrown around a lot, and I just want to say, like, we all, the camera angle really went wacky, sorry guys. We all have a certain level of narcissism, right? The ego does serve a purpose. The ego gets us dressed in the morning. The ego, gets us motivated to do things, and our ego is our sense of self, but is to release the distortion, right? To understand that we all have certain limitations and circumstances that we're here to overcome. And everybody's journey is different than everybody else's. And so we're here to clear the karma within our own personal family lineages for our children. So where do you need to get honest with yourself about an unrequited love situation too? That could be a block. A lot of us too on the twin flame journey, and this is not specific to twin flame, but a lot of us are unable to be with the one that truly has our heart. And sometimes it feels on the journey that we're just destined to die with this broken heart. But a lot of this pain that we carry as a part of this wounding that we're transcending is allowing us to become these spiritual guides. Every life lesson that you have gone through has given you skills and abilities to prepare you to be a guide for others. So I do feel a lot of angry outbursts when it comes to codependencies and unhealthy patterns within relationships. So spend some time today reflecting on how you do spend your time. How do you actually honor and care for yourself, your physical vessel, your well-being? Are you self-reliant? Because self-reliancy is a key to establishing a sense of healthy self-esteem. Are you too dependent on others for your happiness or your well-being or outside validation? So I do think get ready to control some negative reactions when it comes to a karmic situation. And no matter what challenges we're faced, we are asked to always lead from love, whether it is returned to us or not. So let's get some tarot, the Two of Pentacles and the World. So we're at that crossroads, we're at that pivot point. What do you really want to invest in? Because we can't juggle more than one option. We're here to commit to ourselves. We're here to commit to these higher domestic unions. And so what are you willing to tirelessly invest in, right? And so somebody here has had a couple of options, I feel, and something is about to come full circle. I love this World card. This is the energy of an androgynous being, half human, half man, and we all have an inner feminine and masculine energy. How can you integrate both masculine and feminine aspects of yourself to bring something full circle? Because we all have the tools. And so this is like a major life lesson coming full circle, especially around self-esteem, codependencies, and unhealthy, toxic relationship patterns, even with the relationship with yourself. So we're going to do 5 cards, and I will anchor down the 5 cards since I don't have a lot of room here on my little itty-bitty desk. So the Lovers, anchored down by the Ace of Wands. So there is an opportunity for a new beginning in love. You're not going to want to be tempted. The Chariot, oh my God, Cancer, anchored down by the Ace of Swords. Wow. Wow. The 5 of Cups, anchored down by the 6 of Wands. The 3 of Wands, anchored down by the 3 of Swords. The 2 of Wands, anchored down by the Emperor. Holy crap. Oh my God, Page of Cups. So an offer, an apology. Somebody I feel recently has been taken to their knees. A lot of inner child wounding, a lot of inner child healing, and this will lead to these divine unions and a brand new beginning, the alchemical process, right? And so this is beautiful. The Fool, like, we have to leave all of this past baggage behind. Somebody here looks excited to embark upon a new adventure, and I do feel this will lead to commitment. So there is going to need to be an unexpected choice in love, and this is a choice between two. Do you want divine, unconditional, reciprocal love, or do you want to go into another karmic cycle? We all have the choice. You can choose the new, or you can choose to repeat the old cycle. I wouldn't want to repeat. I'd want to move forward. And so Gemini energy, something about Venus and Gemini is exalting a lot of the feminines, I feel. And so a brand new beginning, and there's that Aries energy. So what are you passionate about? Because there's victory and success here. There's truth. We got passion. We got truth. And I talked about the wands and the air energy and fueling the fire, fanning the flame. But we've got to address some guilt and some shame. Maybe some third-party energy. There's been a lot of depression and soul suppression over the last 4 years over missed opportunities. And so somebody, you know, has been struggling with their emotions, I feel, and maybe admitting truth. But I feel victory over a period of isolation and grieving. And so what I feel over the week is addressing all of these past betrayals, these past hurts, these past pains, and choosing to take action to course correct. And so we've got a divine masculine here that's been in the cave. We see the Chiron energy that's been in the cave, understanding these wounds and these fixed patterns, and choosing to make a decision to rise as a true leader. And so leadership energy and apology is what I see here. And so there very well could have been third party with the 3s. That's kind of the underlying energy that's hidden. I feel somebody's been bargaining with the universe, praying with the universe to heal a painful ending from the past. And we can't step into these new cycles until we fully address and heal these past wounds. And so when we jump from relationship to relationship, all we do is carry the baggage with us, and we recreate that until the lesson kind of clicks, right? So I do feel over the course of Venus and Gemini, a lot of spiritual connections are going to be coming together, victory and success, and maybe this will lead to marriage by Cancer season. A quick turnaround is what I heard. So I think there is going to be an offer, an apology coming, and I do feel this will lead to a foundation, a celebration, an engagement, and a lot of healing. So if you are this Queen of Pentacles, I do feel somebody wants to come in and rectify an imbalanced situation from the past. But I do want to clarify the Lovers. The Lovers is a choice between two. Queen of Swords. Eight of Swords. Four of Cups. So somebody's really been facing their inner demons. That full moon in Libra came in, and I feel it shifted somebody's perspective. There's that energy of Christ consciousness coming through, the higher vantage point. So somebody really, I feel, bottomed out in order to understand the energy of Christ consciousness, which is compassion and love for everything. And I do feel finding their spiritual strength to come in full steam ahead. And that's that very fresh new energy. He's kind of riding a ram, a bull, to maybe head straight towards the High Priestess, to lay down a long-standing burden is what it looks like. So crossroads energy. You get to decide. Wild card is what I heard. And so somebody has all of the tools, but which direction are you going to take? We can choose to keep manipulating people and, you know, wanting to win at all costs, or we can choose to completely remove the mask and step into our true position of alchemy within the collective, and that will bring in the fortune. And so there might have been some disillusionment or confusion over the weekend as to which direction to go, which cup to choose, but Spirit's pointing, hey, it's that one right there. This is what you prayed for. And so I feel somebody's going to have to face an ex of some sort that is connected to the divine. She's poured out all the love. It's not about the feelings anymore. It's about the facts. It's about the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I'm not going to give you an ounce of my emotions, but I'm going to sit here and hear you out. And so somebody, I feel, has been really stuck, facing a lot of inner demons, trapped in their own mind, an illusion of their own making. When it comes to a missed opportunity, you see one man and two women at the table. So we've got a masculine here that needs to address a third-party situation with two women. And maybe this has been prolonged, this conversation, for about the last 4 years, but there's the sabbatical goat energy. And so somebody here, I feel, has been facing distorted views of ego. So three voices in their head, 1, 2, 3 faces. And I feel definitely addressing martyrdom as well. So let's see what this Emperor has to say, because this masculine, I feel, is ready to face some repercussions here, and they want a union. And I feel this definitely was something that was left behind. So I think we've got a masculine learning a lesson about what true worth and value is in a connection. I think maybe they left somebody out in the cold, or they abandoned somebody in their time of need. And this has been illuminated that the person that they abandoned has loved them all along, has been trapped in this union without the other person. And I do feel the sun is illuminating this today. So bottom of the deck, the Two of Swords. So I do feel there's been blocks. There's been this energy of I don't want to see it. I don't want to know. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Because somebody's going to have to face where maybe they were a little bit immature and they weren't thinking with their proper head. And maybe they have to address some player ways. And so it's those demons again that were in the Eight of Swords. So I feel somebody's stressed and lost a lot of sleep over this, but I feel a period of healing and something coming back around for completion. And so that Knight of Pentacles is coming in saying, I know what I'm ready to invest in now. So Virgo energy could be dealing with an Aries, Leo, could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini for sure, Cancer. But let's get one last message. Could be dealing with any of the fixed signs. I do need to keep this short and sweet. So we're going to get a message from Archangel Michael. I've really been connected to the Archangel. So decide to be happy now. Archangel Michael is helping the collective open up their heart to happiness and joy and bliss. So you have to be willing to see the goodness in your life in order for that to come through, in order for you to go forward fearlessly. The angels are always walking with us every step of our spiritual journey. They're always holding our hand. We're never truly alone, and they're always there giving us confidence and courage to allow our thoughts and actions to guide us in the direction of your true life's purpose. So love, purpose, having the confidence to go towards eternal love, to perceive that love is surrounding us all in every second of every day. And so we need to be able to freely give love, right? So we'll get one last message from Archangel Michael. What does Archangel Michael want the collective to know? The person you're asking about is trustworthy. So if this person betrayed you in the past and left you like for dead, so to speak, I do feel they're coming in change. They're coming in trustworthy. And I do feel Archangel Michael wants you to have the faith to open up your heart. I do feel this is going to be a different relationship than the first time around. And if you've been in separation, that was for protection purposes, to ensure that you know your intuition and to only allow trustworthy people into your life. So the Emperor is coming in trustworthy. Usually the Emperor is a trustworthy person. So I think today would be a really good time of going outside and getting grounded, spending some time outdoors in order to let go of any fears when it comes to a brand new beginning and a fresh start. Try and find the sense of humor in it. And I know I have the most odd sense of humor. Like, I was laughing at my grandmother's funeral. It's just so cheesy. But if we can't find the humor in the breakdown, you know, it's really difficult to raise that vibration. So thank the angels for giving you an extra sense of motivation. I do think connecting outdoors today will help you relax and let go of any fears. Archangel Michael wants you to know that you are safe and deserving of unconditional love. And this guidance is saying it's time to clear this heavy, toxic, ego-based thought process and feelings, because there is a new beginning around the corner. And so there's a new opportunity coming in, offering support. And this connection will be a healing connection that will help you release and heal the past and fill you with trust. So embrace these life changes. Find a sense of humor in the breakdown. And know that you are protected by the angels. You are watched over by your guardian angels. And so something about taxes. If you're having a rough time with your finances, or maybe you can't easily afford rent, or maybe you got a big tax bill coming up here, trust that the angels will always support you. And so try to see the humor in the situation. When we can look at the past and we can lovingly laugh at our entire human experience, our human nature. Humans are very complex beings, and we're all a little bit weird at times. So all experiences we've gone through, look at it in the light, is what I want to say. And that will attract this healing energy. So trust and honor your feelings too. If we don't honor and listen to our feelings, how can we expect another to honor and listen to our feelings? So I do feel an expression of love. And that's what I got for today, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, check out the description box below. And I do look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.